It was a Thursday. One of those dull, gray evenings where the clouds pressed low like the sky was tired of carrying its own weight. Inside a small one-bedroom rental on the edge of a worn-down neighborhood, Jack Turner was wrapping up another shift of being everything: cook, dad, repairman, storyteller. His daughter, Emily, was his whole world. 7 years old, full of questions and freckles. She was the only bright spot left after life took too much from him too soon: his wife, his job at the steel plant, and most of the money in their bank account. That he had just put Emily to bed with her favorite book when he heard it, a soft knock at the door. Not urgent, not panicked. Just tired. Jack opened the door and saw her, a young woman, maybe early 20s, drenched, wearing a designer coat that didn't belong in this part of town. Her eyes were red. Her hands shook. "I'm sorry," she said. I don't have anywhere else to go." Jack hesitated. This wasn't the city for trusting strangers. But something in her voice, something broken, reminded him of himself. "You can come in," he said softly. "Just for the night." He gave her a towel, offered her the couch, and warmed up the leftover soup from dinner. She barely spoke, just nodded in thanks. Her name, eventually, was Sophie. That night, after Emily was fast asleep, Jack sat across from Sophie as the rain whispered against the windows. "You running from something?" he asked gently. She didn't answer for a long time. Then, "Running to something, maybe. Or trying to remember who I am without the name I was born with." That was all she said. Jack didn't press her. He didn't need to. They shared silence like old friends. The next morning, Jack woke early to make breakfast: pancakes, the one thing Emily would wake up smiling for. But when he walked into the kitchen, Sophie was already there, making coffee. She looked different in the morning light. Less lost. Still tired, but grounded. Emily, naturally curious and open-hearted, instantly took to her. By noon, the three of them were laughing like they'd known each other longer than a single rainy night. Sophie helped Jack fix the leaky faucet that had been dripping for weeks. She read to Emily. She even helped Jack polish his outdated resume. When Jack offered to drive her wherever she needed to go, Sophie hesitated. Then she whispered, "Just give me one more night. Please." He nodded. That night, Sophie asked Jack questions no one had asked in a long time. "What would you do if you had the chance to start over?" Jack chuckled. "Probably fail a bit slower." Sophie didn't laugh. She just looked at him with eyes that had seen wealth, but clearly envied warmth. "I think you deserve more than survival." Jack looked at her then, not as a stranger, but as someone who had forgotten what kindness from a stranger felt like. That he didn't ask her about her past. She didn't offer. Somehow, it didn't matter. The next morning, Sophie was gone. No note. No trace. Just a folded $100 bill left under Emily's drawing on the table and a coffee mug washed and drying in the rack. Jack stared at the door for a long time. It felt like a weird dream. A brief pause in the hardship. And now it was back to the grind. Weeks passed, life went on. Jack got a call, a job interview, thanks to the resume Sophie had helped fix. He got the job. Not glamorous, but stable. Emily started smiling more. He stopped avoiding mirrors. Then, one morning, a black car pulled up in front of his house. A man in a suit knocked on his door. "Mr. Turner?" Jack nodded, unsure. "You had a guest here 3 weeks ago." "Young woman." "Sophie." Jack's heart stopped. "Is she okay?" The man smiled faintly. "She's more than okay. She's the only daughter of Margaret Ellingsworth." Jack blinked. "The billionaire?" "Yes. Miss Ellingsworth went missing briefly after a very public fallout with her family. She wanted to disappear. She chose to find out what it meant to be seen without a last name. Jack didn't know what to say. She said you were the first person who gave her kindness without expecting anything back. She asked me to deliver this. The man handed over a sealed envelope. Inside, a handwritten note. Jack, you didn't ask me who I was. You didn't make me feel small. You gave me space when the world only offered pressure. You saved me without even knowing it. Enclosed is a small gift. Not charity, just a seed for something better. Build something. Breathe again, and when you're ready, come visit. I think Emily would love the ocean view. Sophie. Inside the envelope was a certified deed, ownership of a small bookstore cafe in a coastal town, paid in full. Jack stared at it for a long time. He looked at Emily, playing with crayons on the floor, her laughter filling the room. He didn't cry. But something inside him, a wall built by years of hardship, finally cracked open.